Congress by the Independent National Electoral Commission is generating controversy. Now, the rival Africa People's Congress is claiming that they started the use of the APC acronym, and that is why they are heading to the court to seek redress. Solidarity forever. The African People's Congress accused the electoral body of disregarding the judicial review on the acronym APC.
As long as our case is in the courts, the acronym APC is not yet available as the process of registration, which ends with a judicial review, is still ongoing. Nigerians must note that INEC fully acknowledge that we were the first to apply with the name APC.
There's no injunction, and INEC did not violate any court order because there was no order restraining the commission from doing what it did.
In another twist, the All Progressive Grand Alliance has denied being a party to the merger that produced the All Progressive Congress. The leadership of the party said no member of the party participated in the merger talks.
APGA never submitted itself to any merger talks with the three parties and other associations that came together to form the APC. At no time did any APGA official appear in any meeting where merger talks were held.
The right to the ownership of the acronym APC is the issue on ground. The battle is between these two political parties. How this will be resolved is what Nigerians will take interest in. From Abuja, Paul Nwachukwu, Channels Television News.
All Progressives Congress, APC sails through, and finally, a bit of respite for the umpire INEC. But it does appear that the die is cast as the political atmosphere looks like the beginning of a fresh battle. This time, the battle for supremacy between the ruling PDP and now the APC.
All the youths, male and female.
The APC is not hiding its primary objective of uprooting the PDP from the seat of power at the federal level. And with this endorsement from INEC, everything seems set.
Our primary objective is to offer Nigerians another alternative. See, 14 years of PDP has not helped Nigeria, to leapfrog into the League of Developed Nations. And we believe that 14 years or 16 years is enough.
But with the size of the PDP and its national might, and a party which prides itself as the largest in Africa, will the backing of the APC bring a roaring effect?
PDP is having a problem today that everybody knows. It's because it's big. PDP has been tried and tried and tried, and when they have problems, there is an internal mechanism of resolving this problem. So why should we panic? PDP is on top of the situation.
For other parties who are not involved in the merger have been busy too. They have been watching with keen interest their opinions you don't want to despise.
Really happy, overjoyed that APC is virtually registered. What I fear most is that the APC might lose the 2015 election. Why do I say that? The PDP already know how they move. They know every nook and corner and cranny of this country. They know where to push money and where not to push money. Now, APC coming in is going to be a formidable opposition.
For the electorates and the ordinary Nigerian, does the APC and the merger mean anything?
A very good development for Nigerian politics.
All the parties, they are the same thing. If they will make Nigeria better, so they should come in. You should try them as well.
For PDP, at least PDP, the tenure is okay, so they should live there.
All Progressives Congress, long before they even thought about merging as a different opposition in their unit. But this time around, that INEC has approved the registration of the All Progressives Congress. What we may be seeing in the Nigerian political atmosphere is how far all these parties will be able to outstake themselves come 2015, when every Nigerian will go to the polls to elect a president. But with all of this situation, what will be on the minds of every Nigerian is what their decision and how their decision will affect the ordinary Nigerian on the street. For now, that is a major factor. From the street of Lagos, I'm Sheung Okimbaloye, reporting for Channels Television News.
And then we'll take it from the studio here. Thank you very much indeed, Sheung. But they're still talking about it. Political parties, perhaps yourselves also, because you will vote ultimately, if you will. We're joined this morning by Professor Femi Otubanjo, who is a political scientist. Thank you for coming on this morning, Prof.
Good morning, thank you.
Well, looking about it, oh, by the way, first and foremost, don't forget that you can also watch us online, and then you could download the app, or you could just, if you missed any of this, youtube.com/channels web. You can also get that if on the go. If you are on the go, you can actually watch it anywhere, anytime. Well, Prof, speaking about this one, yes, we did hear Tunji Shela, chairman of PDP Lagos, say no need to panic.
Yes.
They don't panic. But some say that's a politician's response.
Yes.
But the truth is, they have serious signs of concern about this registration of APC. Don't you think so?
Yes. Well, it's correct. There's no need to panic, but you have to be concerned. So reconciling your own language with your own. It's only a fool who will not take account of new information, new developments around him. When a general goes to battle, is always adjusting to development. So concern, not panic. I think he's right. The APC is a major threat. Because of the Nigeria's geopolitics, you see that the APC itself is trying to cash in on this talk about power. It's about the power game, and they have a winnable coalition right now. If the sentiments in the north are correct and they play out, and you combine it with the ASEAN domination in the southwest, that is dangerous. And so the PDP must begin to think of how to deal with that. So that's great concern. It's a major challenge. I'm happy that the party was approved. It would have been a terrible nuisance to the country if you do not approve a merger that was obviously credible. Maybe because of the name. In any case, there was no doubt that the merger was going to be approved. What was at stake was just the name. And I wouldn't have thought that these people would have been so fussy about the name. They can call themselves any name. Once you have a credible assembly, I always liken them to Sonny Ade or Femi Kuti. The band is that name. Is Sonny Ade. Sonny Ade can join up with anybody. He will still be King Sonny Ade or K1, Wasiu Ayinde, and so on.
There were speculations at the time that it was some members of the PDP who came up with another party in that same name, that same acronym. Speculation. So such that
there are so many members of the PDP. Everything does not come from the top.
So maybe that might not be an official.
Yeah, it's not.
It might be one of those coverts.
Even if it was, it's legitimate political maneuvering to try to dampen the enthusiasm of the opposition. It's not something that I approve of because there was no need for it. But it happens. You see, I always tell people talk glibly about paradigms in Nigeria. When they talk about paradigms come with their own rules, with their own culture, their own values. The paradigm of politics in Nigeria is different from in America. In fact, there's no democracy in Nigeria. What you have in Africa, what you have is democratica. Yeah. There's a democracy in Africa. Let's put it that way.
What about Nigeria?
Yeah, well, Nigeria is part of that. Even when you find an 89-year-old man still contesting election after being in power for 30-something years, it's only in Africa that you get that. That is not democracy. But democracy also varies from system. You find in Britain has a monarchy. So also in Sweden and Denmark. And they are able to synergize it with their democratic ethos. Americans laugh at the British sometimes because they don't have a monarch. The French have a president and a prime minister. So you have variations. You have different paradigms. In Africa, we marry democracy with a despotic, paternalistic instinct. And what we get is leaders who manipulate all the time to be in power, to stay in power, and people who also believe that once you have power, you must maintain it and use it to oppress.
You said something earlier. You said they have a winnable opposition.
Yeah.
Now, if there are those who say they don't have the kind of structure that is necessary to even stand as a viable opposition to the PDP, and you had the former secretary of the ACN saying they want to give Nigerians an alternative.
Yeah.
Is this workable?
No, first and foremost, I disagree with the, I've said it here before, that the APC is not an alternative. It's not an alternative, it's just a different party, a party that will give a challenge. When you talk about alternative, you are talking of ideological alternative. You are talking of program alternative. What is it about the APC that is different? That will be different from the APC is made up of CPC, which by all means is a conservative party, of LPP, which has never pretended to be progressive, and ACN, which is only marginally progressive. Because I don't see what ACN governors and other people do that PDP governors do that ACN governors don't do. The other day there was this Ula Balu about Oshiomele's helicopter. That is an ACN governor, that his helicopter was stopped from going out of Benin Airport. Nigerians did not ask, where was he taking an helicopter to? Where was Oshimole, progressive, comrade, taking an helicopter to go and attend a private burial ceremony of somebody, of a friend, at the expense of the state? How is that different from the PDP governors? So when you talk about alternative, the APC does not have alternative personalities. You can give me 20 names in the APC and I'll give you 20 names in the PDP and see how they are different from each other in terms of their attitude to power, their ideology, and what their performance in governance. So it's not an alternative. But in that sense, in terms of offering Nigerian choice, it is not really. It is, you know, it is between the devil and the deep blue sea. That's what they are.
Okay, now looking at, I mean, as a political scientist, yes, looking at this merger, I mean, it's been, they say, a merger of strange bedfellows.
Yes.
What do you think is the largest challenge confronting them?
Yes, you see, I'm happy you asked that because people have been talking about PDP having problems and so on. Problems will always emerge in large parties. First and foremost, they are going to be harmonizing their structures. And they're going to be choosing chairman, this, and so on. They have interim committees. Yeah. That will create some tension. They are going to have to choose their candidates for office. Governors, senators, that will create a lot of tension. Some will leave APC out of frustration and go back to other parties, other to PDP.
You see that happening?
That will happen in any party anyway. That's Nigeria. That's what I call it democratica. Nigerians do not have a losing spirit. You lose in one party, you quickly move to another one. One party wins, you join it to chop. That is the way it is down here. And that's what we are living with. So they will have their own problems. They will have problems about their presidential candidate. They will have problems about their vice president and so on. They will have the normal party problems that the PDP seems to be the only one having. They will have it.
All right, let's get across then to Rotimi Fashakin, the former CPC spokesman. They are also involved in this merger and having highlighted what the challenges they will face. Let's get it across to him. Morning, thank you for joining us today. Well, yes, lots of talks coming through about APC registration, of which CPC is one of the parties that merged to form the APC. Do you agree that these challenges will happen? It's just a question of when?